Hi everybody, welcome to another video, and today I'm actually doing a requested topic, which is how are we preparing for a baby who is likely to have quite a lot of problems upon being born. I don't mind talking about this now. I think that had it been, 10 weeks ago, I would have found this a lot harder, but enough time has elapsed now and I feel like we have enough information that it doesn't scare me as much anymore, but I've also had time to acclimatise to the news, basically. When you are female and you have a baby and you have myotonic dystrophy, you have a chance of giving your children the very severe form that is present from birth, called congenital myotonic dystrophy. We found out from a CVS test that our son is definitely affected, but we don't know how bad it might be when he's born. The biggest hurdle in this entire pregnancy has been uncertainty. The problem is that we just don't know how it's going to be because the symptoms of this condition are so varied and people are affected in very different ways. So some babies who have it might be born perfectly normal but have developmental delay or, problems moving around, or some children will be very severely affected from birth, leading to ventilation and in some cases death. So the uncertainty basically lends itself to a fear of the unknown, and that has been one of the hardest things to try and overcome so far, is just to not be afraid. As most of you probably already know, I believe in a very sort of holistic, natural approach to most things. And unfortunately, I feel like in this circumstance, my approach and the normal medical approach to care are somewhat incompatible, and I don't really know how that's going to play out over the coming months. So care for my baby has already started because I'm caring for myself. Self-care is care for my baby ultimately while he's still inside me. So I am trying my best to I'm being as healthy as I can, I'm sleeping, I am, listening very carefully to how I feel and what my body is trying to tell me. And, I just go day to day just doing that, taking care of myself, knowing that everything I'm doing for myself is ultimately caring for my baby as well. And I intend for this to lead me right up to labour and delivery. So the kind of delivery that I would really want for him is one that is gentle and as calm and as unmedicated as possible, with as few interventions as possible. Ultimately, I feel like a birth scenario like that will be best not only for him but also for me, so that if I am taking care of myself, I can then also take care of him. I need to be healthy and strong, and I feel like having that kind of birth will be best for everybody involved. The kind of birth that I fear, and this goes hand in hand with that feeling of incompatibility between my version of care and the medical version of care, is that it will be frantic. There'll be bright lights, lots of people, machines. He will get whisked away and, poked and prodded and given God knows what in order to help him survive. And while I'm not anti-drug, I feel that it has a place, and that place should not be routine. It should be emergency only. I don't really know how to achieve this birth at this point because we have not had any discussions with the consultant about mode of delivery, where I would like it to take place, and what kind of options there are available. We still don't know how he's going to be, and we won't know, obviously, right until he's born, but we've got another scan coming up, and that will give us a little bit more information about what we might be able to expect. So we're doing this on, without all the pieces of the puzzle, basically. In terms of psychological preparation for what might happen. It does me absolutely no favours to be dealing with what ifs. I cannot allow myself to go down that rabbit hole because it is a downward spiral to a place that is very dark, where I don't like being, thinking about those scary what ifs. And again, it's all just fear of the unknown. I can't deal with thinking about what will happen or what might happen in a few months' time because I'm not there yet. And it serves me absolutely no purpose to do that to myself. But also all the time that I feel anxious and scared and worried, I am producing hormones in my brain that are then flooding my body and they're affecting my baby at the same time. So I do my very best not to become anxious and scared, to remind myself that all I can really do is stay in the present moment and just deal with what is coming right now, what is happening right now. How do I feel today? What do I want to do today? How is the baby today? I really can't get too close to those what ifs. I know that they're a possibility, but I really don't want to think about them right now because they're not here yet. And this isn't denial. This is a form of protection. It's protection for me and it's protection for him. I know enough about myotonic dystrophy without having to go and do lots of research about it. So I have to just stay present, stay focused, and not get carried away. I don't post to groups or read support groups on Facebook. I'm part of them, but I don't even get notifications from them because I feel that they are there for when I need them. I don't actually want to go and read them because they are very sobering places and they lead to that place that I mentioned before, which I don't want to go. And I don't need to go right now. I know that that information is there and it will still be there when I go looking for it, but I don't need to remind myself daily of how other people are managing with this condition. In general, my approach would be for this baby to be as natural as possible. I do want to deliver naturally. I do want to breastfeed as much as I can. I want him, and obviously in order to breastfeed, my nutrition has to be top notch. And I believe thoroughly in that sort of nutritional therapy, that medicating through let food be thy medicine theory, rather than just resorting to drugs. And once again, this is where I don't know how compatible the two worlds will be, because no doubt there will be a suggestion at some point that we put our son on some kind of medication or that we get him vaccinated. And at this point, unless there is a very good reason to do either of those things, I don't imagine doing anything of the sort. I am trying to surround myself with positivity and the right kind of people in order to feel empowered and like I can do this. This is possible. In terms of actually physically preparing for the baby, I'm still going about it like a normal pregnancy because so far it is a normal pregnancy. There is nothing to suggest that this is anything but a normal pregnancy. So I've got the Moses basket out. I've ordered some nappy wraps for newborn size. I have organised the cupboard in Leo's room to accommodate baby clothes. I am thinking about the fact that this baby will be here one day. And although we don't know what kind of condition he will be in, he is still going to be here and we will cope no matter what. And the final part of this question that I received was, are we preparing Leo? Are we including him? Does he know about what kind of difficulties we might be facing? And honestly, obviously he's aware that we're having a baby. He's very excited. But we have not told him all of the details because there's no need to right now. We know so little that there's really not a lot of point in telling Leo because he's not really capable of understanding fully, but there's no need to over-prepare him for an eventuality that perhaps won't come. When we know more, we will be able to inform him. We will be able to tell him. I have done some sort of preparation with him a couple of times. Most recently, we sat and we watched a video on YouTube together of a baby being born in a hospital. And it wasn't very graphic, and it was a very calm birth. You know, the mother, she wasn't screaming or anything, but she had a hospital gown on, and she had a cannula in her arm, and, you know, there were machines and lights and stuff, but you couldn't really see anything of the baby actually coming out. But I wanted to show him that so that he would have some idea of actually how some babies are born in the hospital, because I have told him that it is likely that I will need to stay in hospital for a little bit to have the baby. And I want him to kind of understand that that's okay, you know, and it's nothing to be afraid of. I have told him that the reason we will be in the hospital is because the baby might need help when he's born, and he might need doctors and nurses to help him in the beginning, and Leo seemed okay with that, you know. But I don't see any reason why we would need to prepare him any more than that, you know. I was nervous about telling Leo that we were expecting a baby because I could no longer protect him from the knowledge that perhaps this wouldn't go well. We had been through so much at that point. It was Christmas Day that we told him, and Christmas Eve I had a wobble about it. I was worried that, you know, I felt like once we included Leo, that was it, you know, it was real, and I was laying him open to being hurt eventually by traumatic events, possible traumatic events. But back then I was still thinking about the what ifs, and I've really tried to stop doing that. I hope that this has answered some people's questions and curiosities that they might have about this topic. I am open to answering questions, and I do read all of my comments. So if you have any questions that you'd like to ask me, please just leave them in the comments section below, and I will get back to you. To sum up, we're just taking it one day at a time with the information that we have, and we aren't trying to overthink things or over-prepare in that way. And that's how I'm doing it. I'm taking care of myself, and in turn taking care of my baby. And we will manage, we will get through it. So thank you for watching. There are other videos coming out all the time, so do stick around, check them out. So I will be back with another video really soon. And until then, bye guys!